It's WQOW 16 News, and I'm your forecaster here, Alex Martinez, and today we're looking at some beautiful 80 degrees, sunny weather in Midwestern Wisconsin. No, Mario, no, it's not raining. No more blizzards, no more blizzards. We're only talking about beautiful summer weather for like the next 3 weeks. So put down the keyboards, stop the arguing. It's time to talk about a wheel brand that you guys have requested, 1552. So we're taking it back to 1996. But when Will Smith was blasting aliens, 1552 was originally founded. Originally, they actually weren't even called 1552. It was a joint venture between two people. So who were these two people? Well, it's simple, Brad Beardow and Joe Hoppen. Now, Brad Beardow is not necessarily a huge name in the scene, but most of you have likely heard of Joe Hoppen. Now, Joe Hoppen was the creator, founder of Joe Hoppen Motorsport, and essentially was one of the biggest names when it came to aftermarket Audi, VW tuning, and Porsche Motorsport. But Joe Hoppen and Brad decided that they wanted to try doing something different. And at the time, what else could you do besides tune Volkswagen and Audis? That's originally how the company was first founded. And it was founded under two different names, VW Sport and Audi Sport. They were the only ones registered and licensed for VW tuning applications. Well, a few years went by and Joe Hoppen was like, I don't know if I really want to do this anymore. So he tried to retire, and Volkswagen was like, Das, you cannot keep the name if you're going to quit and retire. I don't even know if that's German. Hold on, let me try again. Das, you cannot keep the name if you are going to retire. This is Italian, isn't it? You get the point. Anyway, Joe Hoppen was like, okay, and 1552 was born. The name change was the first signification of what they wanted to do with the brand. Joe Hoppen had his time in the sun and he wanted to retire, and it transitioned to Brad really taking the mantle when it came down to 1552. Well, it was clear that they wanted to make wheels. They had no clue how. They really wanted to just make wheels. I mean, that's pretty much why anybody wants to get into a business, I suppose. It's worked out for them so well. 1552 didn't really get into wheels until 2008. It just took them that long. Now, the difference between a company that's not new with other brands that we've talked about in the past is the reason as to why they wanted to get into wheels. Most companies, if not all companies, begin making wheels for either two reasons. They either want to enter motorsport or they want to make a ton of money. If you are in the wheel game, you know that a lot of wheel manufacturers can make a killing, especially in the profit margins on cast and forged wheels. It's just a lucrative business, especially when you have the factories on lock or you're partnered with a bigger company that can fork out the big bills. 1552, they just wanted to make cool wheels. They were inspired by all the stuff that they were doing in the tuning community between Volkswagen and Audi. So once 1552 was founded, they realized they don't really have a wheel designer. Yeah, they got this far and they're like, wait a minute, we need a guy to design the wheels. Enter Matt Crook. So Matt Crook entered into the business of 1552, and a lot of people actually know the name from previous business dealings with him, and he's just overall a pretty cool dude. But 1552 wanted to make it extremely clear. They were only gonna make wheels if it was fun. If it wasn't going to be fun, they just weren't gonna do it. They had other means that they could do, they had other things they could buy and sell. They just wanted to be a fun business that they could get into, make a little extra cash, and just have fun with it. But they wanted to put a different twist on it. So Matt Crook came on board and said, yeah, absolutely, I can do that. And they came out with their first signature wheel, the Snow Flake. The Snow Flake was a Volkswagen MK1 style upsized wheel that essentially could replace other wheels that were on older Volkswagens. On top of that, it featured a little bit of a fresh face to it, offered in a bigger diameter, and on top of all of that, it could actually accept the factory center cap and a bunch of other things that just made it a special wheel. The Volkswagen community absolutely loved it because what it allowed community members to do was to buy a wheel that was lighter, that was clean, that didn't cost a fortune, but also just kept true to the heritage of what made that wheel so good. 1552 didn't try to pass it off as some sort of original wheel design. In fact, they know that what they were doing was for the Volkswagen MK1 wheel, but they wanted to make something that they knew the community actually wanted and agreed with. And the Snow Flake was a huge success. So 1552 began making more wheels, and they were inspired by the racing lineage that they chose to talk about. So a lot of their tarmac wheels look like tarmac race inspired rally wheels. It's very simple. It's the same thing with their Turbo Max and the other designs that they have. They all carry some form of credit to where they got the inspiration from, and their names are just extremely prevalent of where it came from. If you're out there right now and you're looking at wheels, you're likely looking at probably one of the following things. If you're looking at a cast wheel, you're probably looking for something as concave as possible. On top of that, you're probably looking for a big flashy color or something that has a lot of depth to it. Or you're looking for something that's multicolored to maybe give it that multi-piece style look. Or option 2, you're looking at a multi-piece wheel, which is going to run you anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000. It's gonna give you all the flashy bits that you want, probably have a huge lip, plus some concavity. It's gonna have some neat hardware and some center caps that are a bunch of different colors. That is the trend right now. 1552 on the other hand is like, no, we're gonna make our own stuff. 1552 just makes what they want to make. They don't follow the craze, they don't follow the trend, and that's what makes them so special. In fact, they just wanna keep it true to their culture. And Matt Crook makes that a very prominent theme in all the designs that 1552 comes out with because of what makes 1552 special. So 1552 is a small outfit, like 4 people small, 4 people. They just don't believe in having some sort of seismic growth or doing any sort of acquisitions or trying to bring on 1,000 people to lead the company because it really only takes 4 people. Matt and his team focus on what's essential, and what's essential to them is making wheels that they would run themselves, which, by the way, if you haven't been on Matt Crook's IG, it's absolutely fire. Matt has like the best taste in cars. Matt, if you're watching this, bro, your taste in cars is killer. Matt and his team at 1552 have really taken that brand in 2008 from just a thought to probably one of the most prominent names in the USDM tuning scene for hot hatches and a lot of the Euro scene as well. It gives a lot of variety into offering something that's not gonna be super in your face in terms of wheel design. It's gonna be subtle, it's gonna be sleek, it's gonna be minimalistic, and that's what makes 1552 stand out from the rest of the gang. So what do we know about their wheels? Well, they make cast, they make 2-piece, 3-piece, they make forged. Their forged is made in America. That's pretty neat. Can 1552 wheels take a beating? Yes. Are their designs pretty cool? Also yes. They're actually so good that they got replicated by another company not even a couple years ago. The company that replicated 1552's wheels is actually a very prominent company, and it was none other than Work Wheels. You see, back 2-3 years ago, Work came out with a Seeker Series line that almost looked identical to 3 wheel models that 1552 introduced a long time prior. Pretty interesting to see that. Even Matt commented on his own IG to see the similarities between the 2 brands, and it was insanely close. Now, we do have to say that every design is a design of a design, but we have to just say that as a company that started in 2008 to have a company like Work borrowing your designs for another international market, good job, guys. Take that as a compliment. 1552, hats off to you guys for having such a cool brand and just doing something different in the scene that just allows you to be who you are. So that's everything that we have on 1552. We hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so below. We're trying to hit 50,000. We're on the road to 50,000, so it would mean a lot. And on top of that, let us know what you'd like to see us cover next. We look at every single comment because Mario has to, but I'm Alex from Fitment Industries. My neck is probably burnt. There's a semi coming. It's gonna be really loud, but we'll see you later.